This session is on index notation. The last lesson we looked at different ways to find powers of a number. So for example, if we had 3 to the power of 4, we found out that this means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So it's 3 multiplied by itself 4 times. Okay, just to refresh your memories, can you just very quickly answer these 3 questions? So the answers are 81, 1024, and 7 to the power of 1 is just 7. Okay, we're going to find the missing number in each of these questions. So for the first one, we've got 3 to the power of 4 times by 3 to the power of 6. If we think about what this actually means, so we've got 3 to the power of 4, so we know that that's what that means. And then 3 to the power of 6, and I'm multiplying it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in total, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which means that I have 3 to the power of 10. So I'm multiplying 3 by itself 10 times. Okay, for the next example, we've got 4 squared times 4 cubed, so that's 4 times 4, and then I times that by 4 3 times. So in total, I have got 4 to the power of 5. Okay, just have a look at questions A and B and just see if you can see any patterns that's happening so that we don't have to write this out every time. Okay, for the first one, you can see that I've got my 3 to the power of 4, so there's my 4, and then I've got 3 to the power of 6. If I add those two together, so I'm just adding together the two powers, then that gives me 4 plus 6, which is 10. So that's how I got 3 to the power of 10. Okay, if I look at the next one, I've got 4 squared times 4 cubed. 4 squared times 4 cubed. I've got 2 lots of 4 that I'm multiplying together, and I've got 3 lots of 4 that I'm multiplying together. So altogether I've got 5 lots of 4 which are being multiplied together. So that's 4 to the 5. So we can just add the powers. The next one, I've got division. So I've got 5 to the 7 divided by 5 to the 4. So in this question, it's asked for 5 to the 7 divided by 5 to the 4. I can cancel out these numbers. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5, and I can keep on going, okay, because they're all multiplying. Okay, so I'm left with 5 to the power of 3. And if I look at the numbers in the original question, 5 to the 7 divided by 5 to the 4, I can just minus the top from the bottom. So essentially this is saying 5 to the 7 minus 4 is equal to 5 to the 3. So here are some of the rules when working with indices. If I have a number to a power and I'm multiplying it by the same number to another power, then I can just add them together. So that's what we've just seen. So for example, 2 to the 7 times by 2 to the 8. My base number has to stay the same, so that's a 2. That has to stay the same. 7 plus 8 gives me 15. So that's just 2 to the 15. That's all that's saying. For the next one, the division, it's the same sort of thing. If I have a power on the top and I'm dividing by a power on the bottom, I can just minus the powers from each other. So for example, 2 to the 10 divided by 2 to the 8. 10 take away 8 is 2, so I get 2 squared. Okay, for the next 1 is a bit of a special case here. A to the 0, so anything to the 0 is equal to 1. So we can have 7 to the power of 0 is going to be 1. 201 to the power of 0 is still going to be 1. Okay, if we look at an example, a number divided by itself just gives us 1. Okay, so for example, 2 divided by 2, how many 2's go into 2? It's going to be 1. How many 10's go into 10? It's going to be 1. And you can see here we've got a number on the top and we have the same number on the bottom, and we will always get 1. So this is how we've got this this rule here. A to the 0 is going to be 1. Okay, because if we look at the powers, I've got 2 to the 4 minus 4, which is just 2 to the 0, and we know that's going to be 1. Okay, you're going to go through these questions, and the first question says simplify using index notation. So for example, 4 times 4 times 4 is going to be 4 cubed. Okay, there's 3 lots of 4. So you're going to go through and just write down the answers, and then when you've done that, you're going to work out what the actual answer is. Okay, and you can use a calculator. Okay, and here are the answers. Okay, this next question says to simplify and give your answer in index notation. So we've already looked at some examples, but just to get you started, 8 squared times 8 to the 4. If we're multiplying and the numbers at the bottom, so the bigger numbers, are the same, then we can just add the top 2 powers. So we're going to have 8 to the 6. Okay, and this is our answer in index notation. So go through the questions and answer them for yourself, and then I'll go through the answers with you. So for B, we've got 6 to the 7. Three squared, because that's just 6, take away the 4. This one is 13, and then we've got 2 take away 4, which gives me minus 2. Okay, for these next ones, you're going to simplify and give your answer in index notation. These questions are all division, so you need to minus the powers from each other. So for example, we've got 18 to the 6 minus 4. So that's just 18 squared. Okay, and it's a similar thing for the ones where you have a fraction as well, because the fraction just means that we divide. So go through these questions and I will show you the answers in just a moment. Okay, for this question here, we've got 10 minus 2. Okay, so we have 10 and we're taking away negative 2. Because we have 2 minuses, it changes to a plus, so it's actually 10 plus 2, which is just going to be 4 to the 12. Okay, for these questions you're going to write the numbers in index form. So we've got 216 is equal to 6 to the power of what? Here you can use your calculator to help you. So this is just a way of working backwards. So 2 to the 16 equals 6 to the power of what? So you're going to try 6 times 6 a few times. So we know 6 times 6 gives me 36. 36 times 6, you're going to find out what that is, 216. So I've multiplied 6 together 3 times. Okay, so 216 is 6 to the power of 3, or 6 cubed. Okay, here are the answers. remember, the only way that we can get 1, so for this question here, is to have our number to the power of 0. Okay, so anything to the 0 is going to give me 1. So if we had 1 equals 215 to the power of something, that something is going to be 0. So we get 215 to the power of 0 equals 1. Okay, we're going to go through some questions which involve what they call a power to a power. So we have a power up here, and then inside the bracket we have another power. We need to know how we are going to work this out. So the first step, we've got 2 cubed. Okay, so that's just 2 times 2 times 2. I have that 4 times. Okay, because of this here, I have it 4 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 sets of 2 times 2 times 2. Now I'm just going to simplify that line. Okay, so that's just writing it all out. I've got 4 lots of 3. So 4 lots of 3 is going to give me 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got 2 to the 12. So let's try the next one. We've got 3 squared, all cubed. So here's my 3 squared. So that is my 3 squared. And it appears 3 times. 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if I was to write that out, I get this. And then I've got 3 lots of 2, which is just 6. So I've got 3 to the 6. So here we have another rule. Anything which is raised to 2 powers, we're going to multiply together. Because remember, we done for the first one, 2 cubed all to the power of 4. 3 times 4 gives me 12. 3 squared to the power of 3. 2 times 3 gives me 6. So if I had another example, so if I have 7 to the 4 all to the power of 5, I'm just going to multiply my powers. So 4 times 5, and that gives me 7 to the 20. Okay, so make sure you have written down these rules. And we're going to try them for ourselves. So remember, if we have a power to a power, we're going to multiply the powers together. So for this one, we're going to get 3 to the power of 6 times 2, which is 3 to the 12. Okay, so go through these questions, and then I'll go through the answers with you. For question F, we've got a power here. Okay, so we've got 12 to the 3, and I'm multiplying that by 0. Anything to the power of 0, it doesn't matter what is inside these brackets, whether it's just a number or if it's a number to a power or anything else, you're still going to get your final answer to be 1, because I've got 12, if we're following the same rule, I've got 12 to the power of 3 times 0. 3 times 0 is still 0, and that gives me 1. Okay, for these next questions, you're going to simplify and give your answers in index form. So instead of there being a number at the bottom here, we have a letter. The same rule still applies. So if I had b squared times b cubed, I know that if I'm multiplying, then my powers will be added together. So my bottom number is still the same, we don't know what that is, and then my top number, the power, is just going to be 5, so that's b to the 5. Okay, so in this case we've got a squared times a cubed, so we're just going to have a to the 5. Let's go through and answer these questions, and I'll go through them with you. These next questions are more of an extension on what we have just been doing. They are getting a bit more complicated, but we can break it down and deal with the numbers first. So we're doing the same thing, we're simplifying and giving our answers in index form. If I was to write this first question out, 3b squared times 4b to the power of 4, what this is telling me is that I've got 3 lots of b squared, and I'm multiplying that by 4 lots of b to the 4. Okay, I can put my numbers together. Okay, those are the easy ones to do. So 3 times 4 gives me 12, and then I'm left with the b squared multiplied by b to the 4. So b squared times b to the 4, we know that's going to be b to the 6. Okay, so that's nothing new. Now I can just write that in a better way, 12b to the 6. Okay, so try the same thing with the rest of these questions. Remember, if there's a minus, you need to be careful. If we have two negatives that are being multiplied together, it becomes a positive number. Okay, so here are the answers. Okay, try these next ones. Again, we're going to deal with the number first. And we're going to do it in the same way. So I've got 12b to the 4 divided by 4b squared. If I deal with the numbers first, I've got 12 divided by 4, b to the 4 divided by b squared. 12 divided by 4 gives me 3. b to the 4 divided by b squared is just going to be b squared. We're minusing our powers. Okay, so try the next questions for yourself. And here are the answers. Do not worry if you are a bit stuck on these questions. You can always come back to them at a later time and see if you can do them again. These are more complicated, so if you understand the basics, that is fine. Just stick with that. If you have a good grasp of the basics, you can move on to these questions. Okay, so here we have some expressions with more than one term. Okay, so we don't just have A, we've got A and B all the way through. We're going to do the same thing. So if I look at the first one, I've got 2 times A. I'm going to write this all out so you can see what's happening. There's my B squared, B times B. I'm multiplying that by 4 times A times A times the B 4 times. Okay, if I was to simplify this, I can deal with my numbers first. So here I've got my 2 and a 4. 2 times 4 gives me 8. And then I'm going to multiply all my A's together. So I've got A, A, A. I've got 3 A's that I'm multiplying together. So that's just going to be A cubed. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4 together, so that's B to the 6. If I simplify that, I've got 8, A cubed, B to the 6. Okay, so try these questions for yourself, and then I'll show you the answers. So here are the answers to those questions. Okay, here we've got some other questions that are using both multiplication and division. You can split up the question to make it easier to manage. Remember, deal with the numbers first. Okay, so I'm going to do 6 divided by 2, that gives me 3. Then I've got A cubed divided by A squared. Okay, I know that division means that I subtract the powers, so I've got 3a cubed minus the 2, so that's just going to give me 3a to the power of 1, and we leave that as 3a. Okay, so try these next questions for yourself, and then I'll go through the answers. So for 10b, we've got 2 divided by, we don't have any other numbers, so I'm going to leave it as the 2. I've got, for my a's, I've got a cubed divided by a squared. So that's going to be a cubed minus the a squared, or divided by the a squared. And then for my b term, I've got b squared divided by b. So b squared divided by b, so that's just minusing 1. Okay, if I simplify that, I've got 2a, 3 minus 2 is 1, and then I've got b, 2 minus 1 is 1, so that's just 2ab. For the next question, let's deal with the numbers first. So I have got 35 and 5. 35 divided by 5 gives me 7. If I now look at my letters, or the different terms, I've got a to the 6 divided by a cubed. So a to the 6 divided by a cubed, so I'm minusing. And then if I look at my b term, b to the 4 divided by b squared. So I've got b to the 4 divided by b squared. So I'm going to be left with 7a, 6 minus 3 is 3, 4 minus 2 is 2. The next question, if I look at my numbers first, 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. Now if I look at my a term, I've got a cubed, I've got a, and I'm dividing by a squared. So I'm just going to write this out. A cubed times a divided by a squared. And then for my b term, I have got b squared times b cubed divided by b squared. So b squared times b cubed divided by b squared. If I now combine this using the rules that we've learnt, I'm going to have 3. A cubed times a is going to be a to the 4. And then I divide that by a squared. So that's just minusing 2 with the powers. And then with my b terms, I've got b squared times b cubed, which is b to the 5. Divide by b squared, that's going to be dividing by 2. So I'm left with 3a squared b cubed. And you're going to do a similar thing for the last one. Remember, deal with the numbers first, so we get so the final answer is 6a b squared c. Okay, if you want extra practice, if you have a look at the homework booklet that I sent you, Chapter 1, Exercise 1.3 is on pages 3 to 5. There are more questions with index notation. Do as much as you can. Do not worry if you can't do the harder ones. So long as you understand the main rules and you know how to apply them, then that will be great.